Forgetting that my constitution is strong. Instead of respecting me long, long reign, they making plot to take down my name. I've been breaking.
Oh my gosh.
Mike makes your day. He brings you the world, the stars, and the sun.
All right, what do we got next year?
Let me see. Do you want to do Cumia on Rogan?
Cumia on Rogan. There were just a few with that.
Just a couple little
Just a
ones
couple
to
little
see
light
his
ones. He
face.
does admit that he, it's so weird with this. This is why, Joe Rogan, you need to start reading comments and being part of the internet if you want to talk to so many people on the internet. You got to know a thing or two. He brags about it. I don't read the comments. I don't read shit. All right, well, maybe if you did, you wouldn't have Cumia on your show. Because you'd be so disgusted by his behavior. He talks to Cumia as if Cumia is just a regular guy. You won't have Brian Callen on the show anymore. You won't have Ari, but you have Cumia on? You won't have Tony on. You won't have Chris D'Elia on. Cumia has done way worse. He admits to taking a 17-year-old girl to prom and fucking her. Because it was legal in New York State, he says. 55-year-old Cumia fucked a 17-year-old girl. Recently, Cumia bit a girl's hand. Cumia is fully racist. Go to his Twitter. It's insane. And this is why it's like, okay, Joe, it's funny. Oh, you could play dumb. Oh, I don't know this stuff about... Well, you need to know. As a host at your level, you want to be paid $100 million, you got to do some legwork. You need to at least know that Anthony Cumia is racist and probably shouldn't be on your show at all. You won't have Gavin on your show back. Cumia is 100 times worse than Gavin could even imagine himself being. Cumia is like a legit pedophile monster. If you're talking in terms of the legality in Chicago, he's a pedophile. He's a pedophile in a lot of states. It's legally, we could call him that. So he had him on, and they just pretend like there's no problem. It really shows how tone deaf and out of it Joe is. They bring up the green screen again. Do we have that green screen?
Yes.
I want to play that.
I do indeed.
But I'll show you, a week before this came out, and I say this every time Cumia is involved with Rogan. I go, if they start talking about that fucking green screen, I'm going to kill everybody. And I'm glad I got this on paper here, and I'll show you that screenshot in a second. And then we'll show you this great compilation that was made. We're going to have to skip through it because it is, in fact, so long. Look at this. Here's my comment at the end. And it's me quoting Joe, and I'm saying, your studio is the reason I got into podcasting. You had this green screen. I said, if he says this again, I'm going to be very, very mad. All right, so now you know this, and then Cumia was on, and here is just a brief history of Joe Rogan and this damn green screen. And whoever made this video, great work.
If it was not for you,
oh my God,
this would not exist. That
Which is
fact.
insane.
That is 100% actual fact. I was watching you doing live from the compound. Me and Brian Redbar were sitting in my fucking living room, and we were watching you. You were fucking playing karaoke. You were singing karaoke with a machine gun in front of a green screen.
Epic.
And I was like, this guy just set up his own studio. Like,
it's also you when you were doing live
Another
from the
clip.
compound, when you were doing it
yeah.
from your house in the basement
So
with a
now we're
machine
doing,
gun.
the internet loves one of these. A back-to-back proof video. I love
Saying
it. Back.
Tamash made this.
Oh, Tamash made this. So here it is. And these are all different clips. Every time they restart, it's a different clip, different show. And it's hundreds.
Karaoke
hobby
with a green screen behind you. I was like, he's having so much fun.
dude, when you started doing your show in your basement while you were doing the Opie and Anthony show, and you set up like a pro studio with a fucking green screen and real professional like camera broadcast quality.
That's
cameras.
3
I was
so
like,
far?
He had a studio that he
4.
built in his basement, like with like legitimate equipment. And I went, oh. And that's when Brian and I started out with the Ustream shows, directly influenced by Anthony Cumia.
Wow. Another, this is edited?
From the compound, where he put up a green screen in his basement. And he had a whole like professional desk and professional cameras. And he's just a maniac. And he would do karaoke holding a machine gun. And he would have a background. The background would be like Manhattan. He would like, change the back. And I was like, that would be an amazing thing to have. He had this house in Long Island, and he was with a fucking machine gun posing in front of a green screen singing karaoke. And oh my God. Because Anthony Cumia had a kind of a pretty high-tech setup in his basement.
So this is only, there's still a quarter more to go here. So you got it. Anthony Cumia's got this. He goes on and on, telling people they don't give a fuck. They can barely follow the story. Let's watch Cumia on Rogan. This is going to be dark, looks-wise, because Rogan is probably about 8 stops underexposed right now. And when you put them on this TV, and then you have the camera settings here, it's almost like they're in the dark. But it's not much better on your screen at home. It's just slightly better. Oh, I got to log in for real? Or will it play? Let's find out.
Shouldn't it play on the app?
I know, but I'm logged out for some reason. Or wait.
No, you're not.
Oh,
you're on
okay.
a browser.
Yeah. Cool.
That's weird that it...
All right, here they come. Oh. Anthony Cumia. Wait till you see him. Sorry, guys. It's Spotify. Very hard for me to work here. So let me just back that up, and then we should be able to expand our horizons here. All right, there we go. The Joe Rogan Experience. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's muted. Too.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Oh, and it does that.
Support for the JRE comes from Goal Zero. There's a new way to back.
Isn't that crazy? And then it stops the video, minimizes. Then you got to drag it all the way. Listen to the end
and enter the promo code Joe for free shipping for a limited time.
Here's another ad.
We are brought to you by.
Isn't this crazy? No way to get around
your
it.
First purchase of a website
Skip
or
it.
domain.
Another one.
We are brought from CBD MD.
That's 3 ads. 4. Here's another one.
Today's program is brought to you by Athletic Greens, the most supply of vitamin D
Skip
and
it.
5 free travel.
And you can't just skip through them. You got to go through the timeline. Here it starts now.
Young Anthony Cumia, my friend, good to see you.
Everyone calls me that. Young Anthony Cumia.
Well, he's young Jamie, so you must be young Anthony. Dude, there is not a fucking show on earth that inspired me to do a podcast more than Opie and Anthony.
I love hearing
and
that.
You've had this same discussion. Every time he's been on, 4 times now, you've had the same combo. You've had the same combo with Tom. I mean, we just showed you. You need to wake up, Joe. And you also should investigate to see who these people are. Do you think everyone's kidding when they say he's been a pedophile and all this stuff? So let's show you some of these terrible moments here. Danny,
you can go to
lightly.
3230 to hear Cumia nonchalantly describe his attack.
So this is something that Cumia, I mean, in his worst nightmares wouldn't bring up. So I figured this one out. He's on steroids now. And he admits to this.
We're going to I have a time code for that.
He's on testosterone therapy, and it's making him go crazy. And he seems to think if he says his crimes out loud now that you can't, and you've heard him say this before, you'll be like, you bit Danny Golightly's hand. And he'll go, I talked about it on the show. And you go, so? That's awful. Doesn't matter if you talked about it. You know, and you only talked about it after the internet forced it out of you. Okay? It took you 2 years to tell us you bit her hand. We thought you just pushed her. You know, when he was arrested for domestic violence, we didn't know the details. 2 years later, he comes and tells us, I bit her hand. I did. I went, and we go, that's way worse than we thought. And we made fun of him for being the biter. And he's never brought it up. And every time he brings up the situation, people go, didn't you get arrested for domestic? He goes, you know how those things are. We were fighting. We were drunk, yelling. You know, and then I had to cop a plea just to get out of it. It was nothing. And they're like, oh, yeah, of course. What do you mean? Why didn't you tell them, oh, no, I bit her hand. I couldn't find my gun. She had hit it. I had to go to rehab. Why not all that stuff? But now he's on his testosterone, and he just openly told the story on Rogan. Wait till you hear this. And by the way, again, Rogan doesn't say boo. It's like when Harry Jowsey took off his shirt and tweaked his nipples in front of Big Mike. Big Mike, at the very least, even if they're dating, Big Mike could go, whoa, hot in here. You could make a comment. He's going to tell Rogan that he bit someone's hand, and he's just like, ha, 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 ha. What do you mean, ha, ha, ha?
3230.
Yeah, listen to this. And nobody in the comments, no one anywhere is saying anything. No one thinks this is out. So you really have to, people don't know what's out of the ordinary anymore until you tell them. You need like a trending hashtag in order for people to go, oh, that's out of the ordinary. I'll follow that. They don't know otherwise.
Yeah. So he had a really hard time of it physically to the point where he's not, I mean, he and I talked about him doing the show again.
I love you guys.
I really want to do it in person. Like, let me know when you can do it in person. He's like, I just can't deal with travel right now. I'm not physically capable to travel yet.
Dude, I had to go to rehab for a crime that I committed.
Whoa! Tony feels free. You're not free. You're just forgotten. He goes, I've been saying whatever I want now on Twitter and for 2 years, and you know what? No one's coming after me. I'm free. You're not free. People just forgot about you. So because he's been allowed to spew all this crap for 2 years and no one's reporting on it because nobody is seeing it, he's tricked himself into thinking that he's got the confidence to kind of just open up. He opens up on his show now. No one says boo. Little does he know, it's not that you're uncancelable. It's just they didn't know. So he's got this new confidence about him. It's going to get him in trouble. I can't wait to see what trouble this brings.
So they said. It was, Vinny Brand from the Stress Factory. I was going out with his daughter for a while.
So this is funny. Joe Rogan even works for the man that Cumia bit his daughter's hand. He's bringing up this guy, Vinny Brand. The girl that he bit the hand, her name was Danny Brand. That was Vinny Brand's daughter. Joe Rogan's worked for the man. So imagine Joe's getting told this for the first time, and you don't know this, Joe. And that's bad, too. You didn't know that Anthony Cumia is the biter? That's like his big thing. So Joe Rogan is just in there. You don't find it strange that he bit the hand of a person you know's daughter's hand? You're just going to sit there and laugh as if this is a nonchalant story? Listen to this.
Danny Brand. And she was just, if anyone could push your buttons, it was fucking Danny Brand. She was a mental patient. But, we were going out. She's kind of... Allegedly. Well, no, I could say that. Disavow, Joe. Disavow. So we'd get into fights all the time. You could,
cool.
You could talk to every single girlfriend I've ever had since I was 13 years old.
And this is like Tony saying chink. It doesn't matter if you love Chinese people, you said chink. That's what they're against. It doesn't matter if Cumia's never hit anyone. You bit a hand. Now you have hit with your teeth. Get it? So now is why, of course, nobody would be mad at you if you never did this. But then you did do it. Now they're mad. I don't understand. People somehow think, but I just started doing it now. So
that's even worse.
That's even worse. Ask anybody. I've never done this before. I just started biting hands. So give me a break. Okay.
Every girlfriend I've had since that episode,
you've only had
none
one.
of them will say I'm a physical person when I get into an argument with anybody. This fight was like throwing and breaking each other's phones and yelling and she's video.
That's not funny already. You're 55, not a 29-year-old drunk guy. This fight was yelling and throwing and breaking each other's phones. Ha ha ha. Okay. That's why we think that's crazy
Ashley
over here.
Butterfield says he brought this up by accident. He's panicking because he's on Rogan.
Yeah.
That might be true.
Yes.
Because he
it is.
remembered that he went to rehab.
Yes.
And then he
And
started
then
saying,
he
the
panicked,
pills went
told.
rehab.
There's a lot of guys
then he
who
had to explain
panic
it.
incriminate. Panic incriminate, where they start going, well, I went to let's just try to come clean on the fly. It's not going to work well.
Doing it live, so it's streaming, and I'm drunk, and it was just bad all over. Bad all over. I'm like,
It's
if
not
I
funny.
hadn't gotten fired for the Times Square thing, this would have, fired me anyway.
And the Times Square thing is when he called a black woman a savage, and they're not people. Because she didn't want him taking pictures of her. He went up to like some street walking hooker at 2 a.m. in New York City and started taking pictures of her right in her face. And she's like, get that camera out of my face, cracker. And he's like, they're not people. You're lucky you're not dead.
I have
Like
a
he
gun.
literally tweeted this. And it's like, you don't understand why that would be at least looked at as racist. They aren't people. They're savages. You didn't say this one person was a savage. You said they're not. You said you're lucky I had my gun. She's lucky I didn't take it out and blow her head off. Why? Because she said, stop filming me. That's enough to blow their brains out? And if you go to his Twitter, go on it right now. Take a scroll. It's all black crime statistics as to say, gotcha, told you. Look at these blacks. He hates blacks. It's okay. Can't he be the one guy who hates blacks? Like, it's so crazy. He's the one thing he will not be called is racist. Every racist, it's like the one thing that offends them the most, being called a racist. It's like, at this point, just
be like, who cares?
who
or
cares?
something.
I mean, it really
At
it's like,
least.
if you don't want to be caught, stop doing racist incidents. This would be like if I complained that people called me racist. There you go.
So all this shit happens. I grab her hand and I bit her hand. I was just
God.
pissed. I was pissed. I didn't want to hit her. Or anything.
Oh, you were pissed. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I grabbed her hand and I bit her. And Joe goes, oh my God. And then he goes, well, I was pissed. And Joe then starts laughing.
Oh.
Why is that any different than hitting? Like, if you punched her, everyone would be like, that is not cool in any way. But you're allowed to bite her? Why is biting somebody...
I feel like biting is
worse
equal
than it.
to
You were
punch.
mad. She wasn't hitting. You didn't say she was hitting me and I bit her. You said she was making me so mad and I bit her.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It doesn't matter if a girl makes you mad. You can't bite them, I think.
No, you
You
definitely
can't push
can't.
them even.
The point is you're not supposed to scare a girl into thinking that you're going to kill her, right?
I think the point is you can't
So don't physically
do
intimidate
it.
them in a
I mean,
fight.
I think he thinks a bite is not hitting. A bite is hitting. It's worse. It's a stabbing with the body.
Bad all over. I'm like, if I hadn't gotten fired for the Times Square thing, this would have, fired me anyway. So all this shit happens. I grab her hand and I bit her hand. I was just
God.
pissed. I was pissed. I didn't want to hit her or anything. She just,
You bit her. I didn't want to hit her, so I bit her. I'll take the hit. Him biting you? Now, you remember there's a whole, mental angle to this, too, being bit by the Anthony Cumia. I mean, what am I going to catch? What am I going to get? I mean,
Yeah.
I would be freaked out if I got bit by a weird bug.
There's no liquids involved in
No.
a light slap.
I mean, wouldn't you rather get slapped, pushed, or punched than bit?
Yes, I think so.
By a crater-faced, gross fucking monster like this? I mean, that to me is like a rape. A bite?
Yeah.
I mean, really, they should put him back in jail for that. Now that he admits it and laughs about it and says that it's so funny, does the DA know this? Can't they reopen the case? I'm so sorry. I'll go to rehab. Oh. And now you laugh in the DA's face after they cut you that break thinking that you were a changed man? Can they renege on that?
I don't think
Patrice?
so. He's free.
Whenever I hear the word renege, I think of Patrice O'Neill. There you go.
a waif of a girl, And I
She's-
just bit her
oh.
hand. I was like, no blood or anything. I just bit her hand. Then the
This is where Joe said, I'm sorry, you got to go. You're disgusting. Bye. Imagine if somebody admitted this to me. I wouldn't just be like, ha, 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 you're great. You know, would it kill a podcaster to grill their friends once in a while? This is why you can't be friends. I keep saying this, the main theme. You're friends with these people, then your interview is compromised. It's not the real deal.
fight calms down. We decide to actually drive to the Apple store to buy ourselves new phones. So she gets in the car, we drive.
That's an addition.
Back, cops all around my fucking house.
Because she had streamed it live.
She had streamed it live. Someone had saw it and called the cops to come to the house. Well, they bring her in the house. I'm standing outside. And they bring her in with a girl cop. And I'm sure she's like, well, what happened? Well,
and again, somebody screaming in the chat, you were 50 at the time, Count. You were 50. That's crazy. I mean, imagine a 50-year-old man doing this. He's capable of anything. That is a person that should be taken off the streets. Like the people he posts on Twitter, those little kids, the 16-year-old gangbangers, he wants them locked up. So he wants 16-year-old kids behind bars for being basketball guys and breaking a window. You know, God forbid somebody breaks a window at a Starbucks in Portland, Oregon. He wants them jailed.
Yep.
But you could bite a hand, do all this, have sex with a 17-year-old girl. God knows what other cons and schemes you and this Keith the Cop, the ex-cop, were up to. So by your logic, you should be locked up. By your logic, you're a savage. By your logic, you're not human. Remember?
Did he do this, Al? Did he mean this? All that. Before I know it, they're like...
Can you imagine if George Floyd would have bit someone? If George Floyd would have bit someone, this guy would be on his show every day. He bites people. He was on his show every day. Like, George Floyd was a criminal. He did drugs once. You guys all do drugs. You know what I mean? It's like all the stuff George Floyd has done that Cumia was like, he's terrible. You've done worse. You're worse than George Floyd. There should be murals of you. In fact, there are. The Freddie murals around the world could all be you.
They fucking grabbed my pistol. They fucking handcuffed me. I'm like, I'd never been arrested in my life. Never. For nothing. Ever. And
well, now you have.
That whole thing started this, my experience with the legal system. And it is fucked. As a guy that committed a crime, it must be terrible, huh? Oh, it's so fucked. They want to like give you consequences for biting people at these legal systems.
But also he got off easy because he did a plea deal. So how is that fucked?
How is it fucked? You know what's fucked? The legal system for letting you out.
Yeah.
You're lucky you're not in the fryer.
You're just screwed. And it's this whole thing where you don't even
but
get...
you're admitting that you bit her.
You bit a woman because you were pissed. He bit a woman because she was... He never once said she hit me.
He's acting like he...
It's not like he said it was in self-defense. She was clawing at me and I couldn't get her off. It's not like he said it's in self-defense. He said, I got mad, so I bit her. And now the legal system is all mad at me. I mean, this legal system and the cops, so stupid. You committed an act of criminal violence.
That's what's so crazy about all this cancel culture stuff is these guys all have completely different situations, but they think they can use everyone else's lines.
Yes. Cancel culture at its finest.
The lines of a guy who didn't do anything, but is being dragged through the court system.
You're admitting that you did the crime,
accusation.
and then, yes, you're portraying this man who's innocent, but you just admitted you're not innocent.
And everyone just eats it up, too. Nobody goes,
because they don't think, as long as you do it in the way that sounds like a reasonable guy talking, they believe it. You could really trick anybody.
And Rogan helps him do that.
And Rogan is sitting there laughing, so it sounds like, oh, this couldn't have been a big deal. He wouldn't be here otherwise. So Rogan should be canceled.
It's not like TV or the movies. I would like to present to you. They want everything to be pled out. So I had to plea and sit there and do one of those things where you stand there and go, yes, I placed my arm on her throat.
When they say they want everything to plead out, is that because the courts...
Okay, so you also did that. I placed my arm on her throat. Sorry. It's like, Yeah, these are what's called charges.
And he
That's what domestic abuse is.
The reason his lawyers wanted him to do a plea deal, I'm guessing, is because if he went to court, they would be like, you get her, you're charged.
Yes,
so this was the
to
best
jail
thing for
with
him,
you.
not
Yes.
the best thing for them.
The plea deal wasn't for them. It was to help you just get the hell out of here.
Are too overcrowded.
Yeah. They just bam. They want shit to just go through.
Right.
It's nothing. When we see a trial on
Somebody should clip this. Just send it to the DA, the woman DA. See what she says. See if she thinks it's funny. Just see.
television, it's an anomaly. Trials don't happen. Plea bargains happen constantly, and they're never really what happened. You're pleading to something just to get off the hook. They told me, all right, we'll bring it down to a harassment thing. It would be like going down the street and, hey, you're an asshole.
Cancel culture, huh? The left.
Seems like you got out of it pretty easy.
Isn't this crazy? How he's talking about this as if, this bullshit thing. I beat up this woman and they wanted to, arrest me for it. Isn't this stupid? I hate cancel culture. This is what's happening on Joe Rogan. And it's it must just be my jealousy as to why this is all happening.
Whistling to it. Right. And now I could go, should I spend tens of thousands, if not $100,000 defending myself, where a jury could just go, I don't like this guy, and give me the big charge, or should I just plea? And then I won't have a felony on my record. I won't have I'll have a violation, not even a misdemeanor. So of course,
Ashley Butterfield brings up a great point. He goes, "Was it worth it to tell that story to the world just so that you could have a point about the courts being stupid?" It's like, really, TMI, bro. That's not a story I'd go shopping around on your podcast tours that you're flying out to in front of millions of people. But not that one of those millions even picked up on this. So either they're not watching at all or they're dirt stupid. Because not one comment was like, wait, didn't you say he beat up and hit a girl? And you're all laughing.
The thread was about that. Every single
but
comment.
nobody else, anywhere on the internet, is talking about this.
Everything gets twisted around. Everything gets twisted.
How is the bite a twist? A chomp is not a twist. There's no twisting the chomp. It would be one thing if she accused you of the chomp and you said, nah, but you're the one who told us about the chomp. You're chomp god.
Nothing's real. They've done stories about you in the news where you look and go, oh my God, that is the most inaccurate thing I've ever seen. And you think at first it's just about you. And then you realize, oh, wait, they're getting everything wrong.
No. They're getting it right. This media has been right all along.
Why would they need to make up anything?
I'm starting to think the media is always right and these guys just always lie. Didn't we have a song called Chomp God? Does anyone know where we can find Chomp God?
I remember that.
It's like, you bitterest, you fucking creep, you're a fucking chomp, you're a fucking veep. Find Chomp God. There's some raps. I mean, we used to cover Cumia. That was the only thing we covered on the show for 3-4 years. And we had songs. It'd be nice to play Chomp God. If anyone has Chomp God, do we have another time code? Do we keep playing from here? Do we go somewhere else? There's some good ones here now that we...
yeah, you can...
It's actually crazier than I remembered it.
I know.
With all the Tony stuff happening this week, I'm like, the Chomper. But this is actually crazier than what Tony did. This should be the news this week.
I forget if there's any more here, but you could go to 4150 to hear him talk about his brother Joe. I know people like that.
I don't know. Let's see.
Or 4530 for them to smoke a cigar.
Okay.
Or 50 minutes in to see Cumia talking about having low T.
Low T. I'll see them all. 4150. Let's see. Brother Joe is his brother.
I kind of thought these time codes were nothing too, but now this one was so good that I'm like, maybe these all will be
all right, let's hear about Brother Joe. Cumia's brother Joe. That is a danger. I don't even mess with that guy. That I fear him.
Right. Here's what's going on. The people that are just attacking people, for the most part, they're trying to bring people down because they're down. That's almost all of it.
We've seen it happen quite a few times. My brother is...
this is their other cope, where if you're attacking somebody online for any reason, you're just a loser in your mom's basement that's depressed. All right, well, what about me? You know, it's I always ask that because, you know, I'm the biggest one who says all this stuff about Cumia. You know, I'm not allowed to talk about how Cumia is disgusting for having sex with a 17-year-old girl or biting a girl. We're just haters, depressed morons living in their mom's basement. Here's this other manipulation that all your comedy podcasts are doing about the trolls.
Various cover bands. He's a great guitarist and does gigs all over the place. And because he's my brother, some of these people decided to just fuck with him and call some of these venues and say that he's this terrible person.
For no other reason. It was like they found a string of his tweets where he was going off on black people, calling them the N-word, monkeys, and all they did was forward the tweets to his gig. Well, Cumia doesn't tell that part of the story about all the awful things that the venue guy saw that were real. You know, he didn't get fired because of the fans. He got fired because of the tweets. But Cumia's retelling of this is that, oh, these trolls.
People.
We kind of have that with social media, things like Twitter, where we know what people are thinking because it's what they present to you.
It's more of what they're projecting, and you kind of you have to use your ability to decipher bullshit to go, oh, this is virtue signaling.
Neither
this
of you have that ability.
Take some heat off of him, so he's going after that guy. You know,
then you would know that.
Yeah.
Instead of just seeing like somebody bullying online, you would know, oh, this is a poor, lonely, sad, depressed guy.
Everybody attacking people on Twitter is depressed. They're almost all.
Anybody attacking anybody on Twitter is depressed. Look at the manipulation here. That these comics, they're going so out of their way to make it so any criticism about them is depressed people, mom's basement, no followers. You should be mad that they're...
This is like if you're at work and you're like, boss, can I use the bathroom? And they were like, anybody who has to use the bathroom is depressed. Get back to work.
Get back to work. Doesn't count.
It's like you can't
There's
trick
always
all
something
these
wrong with
people
you.
who are giving you all your money.
Exactly. And half your audience, we like to go online and bother people like this. You're talking to us. You're bread and butter.
Yeah.
If you're going after people for things like that, unless someone's like doing something, like someone's ripping you off and you want to inform people, hey, I'm getting fucked over. And
hey, that's what a lot of people are doing. You're just not believing their claims. Like all the people are like, Anthony Cumia is a pedophile. He bites. You're laughing that off as if they're lonely, depressed trolls. They're doing exactly what you're saying the caveat is to allow it to happen. And you're just simply not believing them.
Isn't it so annoying that the Joe Rogan clip that went viral this week was something we just glazed over and didn't even think about?
Yeah.
And there's all this gold.
I mean,
mine
if
of
they wanted to,
opportunity.
can't we get a team of SJWs to just do articles about him every day? There's so much here.
this could happen to you.
Right.
Here's what's going on.
We got kill account.
This is when Cameron says that he says Chump.
This
got
says
it.
Because to be rolls in.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, nice.
You guys want to hear some Chomp God? Let's get him on the screen. I love Chomp God. We'll take a drink. We'll do Chomp God. Oh, you can't use arrow keys on Joe's little site. Give me Chomp God. There he is. Nice little face there. This is Chomp God. Here you go.
Hey, have you guys ever seen like
Oh yeah, it's not called Chomp.
Anthony Cumia tapes? Got the tapes, bitch, I seen footage. Go lightly film the shit where you're not looking. Got the secrets, we seen the creep shit. BBG watches me, ain't just peeking. $1 million in a Target card. John's a hog and a real nice card. It's not the simple count, try again. Because 12 rolls in, impressed by that. Look, remember when you sound like 2D Network? It was a prank. You faggots really thought for a second that we liked you. Now Mike's rich, and we all have.
So it's something like, hey, remember when Mike and Redbar came on your network? It was a prank. And now we're all laughing. I just like the simplicity. I'm not saying it's a good rapper, but these lyrics are what Tim Dillon would call fire. Or no, Dave Portnoy would call fire. Here you go. Let's hear the rest. Chomp guy.
And we all have laptops, and you're a sad old myth, only known as the biter. Oh, we look dumb. Have you seen them Janes? 25 bucks, that's all you paid. Eastside tape, that's all you made. And what's with the scars on your motherfucking face? Add another one courtesy of fucking Redbar. Add another charge sheet, rap sheet, chunk up. Add another blade to the footy glove, burn scar. You looking like a bitch boy, Mike T owns y'all.
Yes.
Killing you niggas, yeah, I'm going off. Key stab, let's support going off. And thinks it's 6-0 showing off. You're a fool, and we'll always be watching. Do a naked spin and piss the only way that will stop. I seen tapes.
I seen footage. I seen footage. I seen tapes. I seen footage. I seen footage. I seen tapes. Because we used to call it the tapes. Remember Anthony Cumia's tapes of all his domestic abuse.
I seen footage.
I seen footage.
This burnt-ass man think he's the best. Climb in the coffin count, get some rest. Spend all that money on a cheap-ass desk. That Gavin guy swear that he's doing his best. Shitty-ass network, man, what can you do? Watch the whole man talk about peppermint juice. Let a hot water stock footage is cute. The alt-right is death, I can picture with you.
In Long Island, I got my hand broken. I'm waiting for the police to come, but
the victim.
Oh my god, don't hit me again. Stay away from me. I tried to call the police. He turned the phone off. You shouldn't have lied then. You shouldn't have lied, and you shouldn't have hit me, and you shouldn't have treated me like shit. And then I wouldn't be periscoping this right now.
Leave my house. I'm asking, I'll pay to have you go back to the...
I don't need you to pay for a car. I need you to pay for my fucking broken hand, you dumb piece of shit.
But you're moving your hands.
Wow. But you're moving your hand, he says. Does Your Honor know about that? I need you to pay for my fucking broken hand that you just bit. But you're moving your hand. How could it be broken? Wow. Imagine if someone said that to you after biting you. Oh, but you're moving it. Antagonizing you in that way. Those are the real screams of his victim there at the end. We like to feature real victims on all our songs. Hopefully she's okay with that. Let's hear the point here. This was Brother Joe.
Something else, and I got tracked on that, and it just stuck in my head, and now it's gone.
Yeah,
forever.
well, it's understandable.
Forever.
It's
one of those things.
We're going to be able to read each other's minds soon.
Yeah, I want to skip over this. Let's see
go
this.
to the next one.
Cigar. They just... Oh, this is funny, though. Joe loves cigars because he's the biggest asshole out there.
He forces every person to smoke one now.
They're calling him Bruce Schillis now because he's walking around like a fucking asshole. He's such a stubby little fucking ass. And he smokes cigars now, the asshole stick. And he offers Cumia a cigar. Here at Red Bar, we find cigars to be foolish. By the way, we don't care if you smoke them. You're smoking them because you think it makes you feel like a soprano. Really. Smoking cigars is cosplaying. It is. It's the same feeling that you're vibing off of. You're feeling like, I'm a Don. I'm a big guy. That's what you're doing. Every cigar smoker I know, they're not tobaccoists. They hate the smell of cigarettes. They don't smoke tobacco in any other form, cigar guys. So it's down to looks. That's what they're doing. They feel like Dons, which is a very cringe word that these people use for like a rich fat cat, right? You're emulating, you're cosplaying. I know people at home think they like cigars. I'm begging you to reconsider your love for those wide, thick sticks.
See, everyone says smoking a Juul is so embarrassing and gay. It's showing a commitment to nicotine.
And the commitment to nicotine is, listen, nicotine is real. Cigars is showboating. Yep. Just smoke nicotine if you want that. The cigar thing is to feel like a king. And that's gay. Okay? You could feel like a king without being such a fucking homo. Let's see this. They're going to smoke cigars together, but Cumia is too afraid. Now, remember, Cumia, as mean and as bad as he is in the bedroom, he's like prude when it comes to drinking and smoking and stuff and drugs. Like, he's a noob. Remember, this is like Cumia doing a shot. They're like, let's do shots, boss. And he's like, I don't really, okay. And then this is him doing they're all doing it. He's like this, panicking, looking around the room. And then he sees that they all take the shot and he knows he has to do it. So he goes, how do you guys do that? It stings. And you go, Cumia, this doesn't line up with the biting. You know, he can only get drunk off Bud Lights, a mild build up to the booze. I feel like if you go like that with liquor, you're fucking. So he also doesn't smoke. He doesn't do drugs. He's afraid of weed. Joe's going to offer him a cigar, and he gets into this little kid. He's like a little kid at heart. Like, he's a scared little kid at heart. He panics. He does this with his fingers a lot. Like, he goes, you'll see videos of him, and they do a zoom in. And he's like, ha ha, I don't care at all what anyone says about me. Zoom in, and then you see this, and you're going, oh, really? Because that's quite nerve-wracking of a move. So let's listen to the cigar stuff. I like cigar stuff. You're right. 4630. You're going to see this.
4530.
4530. Thank you. You're going to see this motherfucker get peer pressured into sucking down a cigar. Oh, yeah. Woke up this morning, got myself a cigar. That's an entertaining song, huh? The Sopranos theme song. I was going to do it for karaoke, but it literally just goes, woke up this morning, got myself a gun. And they're like, this is the best song. He thinks that's the best song. All right, let's see what he does.
Has he ever heard Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo?
Well, that would remind him of Paramore, which would remind him of Ain't It Fun, and then he'd cry.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go.
Lucrative deal with Infinity Broadcasting back in, I think it was 2000.
You want a cigar? Do you smoke cigars?
I don't smoke cigars.
Ooh, how dare you. What a panicked decision. If Joe offers you a cigar, you get on the ground and you let him shove cigars in every hole your body has. You don't say, I actually don't smoke. You're driving Joe mad. Look how scared he was to say it too. He's like, because he probably like said something about cigars on his show 2 years ago. Like, cigars are stupid. And now Joe's like, hey, you want a cigar? And he's like, I actually don't smoke cigars. Should I have said that? Do I look crumbly? Yes, you do. Let's watch this go down again.
I can't believe you wanted to skip this.
I didn't. Watch this.
Bobby's got $5 million, that fucking piece of shit. And then, like, well, Billy's cousin's a billionaire. Holy shit, he's got 1,000 million?
Dude.
Like, that's what,
That's so funny. I swear, it wasn't long after. Me and Opie signed, like, an insanely lucrative deal with Infinity Broadcasting back in, I think it was 2000.
You want a cigar? Do you smoke cigars?
I don't smoke cigars.
Ooh, what's going to happen next? Will he cave? Yes. You know what's so funny, too? I figured out what Joe is. And this is a party faux pas, where you're having so much fun with your drinks and your cigars and your weed that you have stopped kind of paying attention to the conversation. You're overshooting now. You're having this great time. He's telling a story, and you're like, want a cigar? Why don't you calm down, let the man speak a bit? And I noticed that this is a party attitude, a party faux pas that I've noticed. Those guys who, and what could we call it? There's got to be a cute name that we could coin this thing where they kind of overlap here. They go a little too fast with, oh, want a drink? Want a drink? Huh? Oh, you're enjoying the party a little too much, Joe. Slow it down. He's done this before, and it's led to. He does this a lot. It leads. Every problem he's ever had is because he gets a little too happy about his party. So now look where he's got Cumia up against a wall. Cumia hasn't felt this crazy since he told everyone he bit a girl. He feels worse about this. I actually, fuck, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I don't smoke cigars. Oh, I made it through? Joe's understanding of this? Nope. Joe manipulates you into doing the unthinkable. Smoking a cigar when you don't smoke cigars. He's peer pressured you into an activity you don't enjoy. You fucking chicken. Smoke the joint now. And the cops come. It was him. Look at you. Watch this bitch get peer pressured.
I always feel like it's weird because I want to inhale because that's like smoking to me. So you kind of just let it linger in your mouth. I've smoked cigars before. Wow, you got good one?
Oh, yeah.
Are they good?
Look at this guy in the chat. I was talking about that overcompensating at the party thing where somebody's in the middle of talking. You're like, want another drink? Hey, how about a cigar? You're like, you're not listening. You just are in party mode. This guy goes, oh, shit, I'd do that. Thanks, Mike. I'm guessing that guy is black. Only a black guy would be as humble as that to admit their faults. The whites, they don't admit. They start threads about how they've always hated me and I'm a gay. I like that. A black guy, he'll admit. And that's what everyone should be doing on this show. A lot of admittance and changing instead of getting mad at me. Here we go. Anthony Cumia suckered in his sucking one down.
Good, yeah.
Because I hear Cubans aren't even the good cigars anymore.
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Bobby Kelly about that. He knows more than I do.
And Joe Rogan does get punk mode status when he starts. He's like, hey, do you want a cigar? And the guy's like, I don't really smoke. He's like, oh, yeah? Why not? And you're like, I have to smoke one, don't I? Yes, you do. Here. Never turn down an offering from Rogan. He takes that. He'll be in his head about that for hours. And it'll come out in brutal ways about you. So always accept his gifts.
Kelly.
Just feel like once we start drinking, I usually smoke a cigar.
I'll smoke a cigar with you, though. Well, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't you? We're here on the Joe Rogan Experience. Humidor.
He makes himself sick. He sucks that thing down to the fucking butt, till the ass is in his mouth, and he's so sick at the end. He's allergic to cigars, and he knows this. But he did it. Let's watch him smoke.
Interrupted you.
He's so I love that. He's like, oh, you'll smoke? Ah! Joe Rogan's already at the other end. He's like, you know what? Where'd Joe go? He's already at the humidor, isn't he? And then this is Cumia as Joe's getting the cigar. The cigar. Can't wait. That's what's happening.
Soon Joe's going to go, you want a cigar? And then 2 shiny silver trays are going to instantly appear beside the guest's head.
I guess I have. Right into their cheeks. You'll see. Or maybe you won't. What is it called?
Oh, yeah.
Thunder Force. Guys, if there's one movie I recommend this spring, it is spring now. Thunder Force. Netflix. It's basically free. It stars Maz, Ordracio Quartet. What is her name? Big fat black lady from Ma.
Oh,
what is
I know her
Olivia?
name. Olivia.
Orlando Brownstone.
No. Hold on, let me look it up. Octavia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer. Now, a lot of you, I know what you're thinking. Mike, Octavia Spencer, she's black. Fuck bitch. No, you're wrong. See the movie Ma. M-A.
Yes, Ma.
She's.
I was going to say don't watch Thunder Force. That was a complete joke.
No. Hold on. I'm not done with that. See Ma. This Octavia Spencer, is that her name?
Yes.
She's incredible. In a way where it's incredible to watch for me, she's really weird and bizarre. And she's in this movie Thunder Force with Melissa McCarthy. I hate Melissa McCarthy. I am not a fan. I can't even hate watch Melissa McCarthy. She bores me so much. She comes off to me, I see a big bitch, an unfunny bitch, a big, fat, unfunny sea bitch. Melissa McCarthy, not interested. But then I see Maz in the movie, and it's a superhero movie where Melissa McCarthy and Ma, 2 big fat fucks, they team up for the Thunder Force, and they're going to stop crime. And the movie's not for kids, and it's not for adults. And it stars Ma and Melissa McCarthy as fake superheroes fighting blue Electric Ladies.
Definitely do not watch it, please. It's
awful.
But this is how Mike picks movies. I scroll through every movie that it's out, every Oscar winner, highly rated movie. He's like, no.
Next. I get mad, too. I treat you, your suggestion.
He treats me like I made the movie.
Yes. If your suggestion is bad, it's as bad as canceling
We
me.
almost got in a fight because he thinks I watch The Handmaid's Tale too much. But my point was, he sees Ma in the thumbnail. We're watching it.
I love Octavia Spencer. Up until now, she's failed me. She's shit. And I'd like to... How about if you you can't win an Oscar, then make some terrible piece of crap movie, and then be like, I'm an Oscar winner. Take the Oscar back if they make a bad movie after winning the Oscar. You should have at least 5 good movies before you start going back to bad. Octavio. So, well, let's see this. They're going to smoke the cigars. My favorite activity, cigar watching.
Lucrative deal with Infinity Broadcasting back in, I think it was 2000.
You want a cigar? Do you smoke cigars?
I don't smoke cigars. I always feel like it's weird because I want to inhale because that's like smoking.
Fake excuse to why you hate Joe Rogan's favorite stick.
Smoking to me. So you kind of just let it linger in your mouth. I've smoked cigars before. Wow, you got good ones?
Oh, cool.
Are they good?
They're good, yeah.
Because I hear Cubans aren't even the good cigars anymore.
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Bobby Kelly about that. He knows more than I do.
Bobby Kelly.
Just feel like once we start
Name
drinking,
drop.
I usually smoke
I
a
did
cigar.
I'll smoke a cigar with you, though.
Look at you.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Whoop, there goes
We're
Joe.
here on the
Watch
Joe
this.
Rogan Experience.
This is what I wanted to zoom into right here. This is the panic. So Joe reaches over here to this humidor to get a cigar. Look at Cumia. Oh, fuck, what have I gotten myself into? Shit. Fuck. I'm actually going to do this. It's just a cigar. You're going to be okay. But let's keep an eye on him. And by the way, is there not a bigger scumbag profile than that? Look at this snake-like lizard salesman.
Like a mask.
I mean, really, this looks like a guy. His hair is now completely greased back. You know, like mine. But, I mean, come on. Who would you trust here? Me or him? All right, let's watch him. A close eye on him panicking. He's going to play?
Or
I interrupted you again.
No.
He licks his lip.
It's fine. You have such a man place here. This is a dude fucking place.
It's not as duty as the last place.
Trying to change the subject, huh? Maybe he'll forget that he's unwrapping a cigar just for you. No chance. Watch this. Cumia is going to suck that thing down whether it kills him.
Because I don't have the gym. But
right. You
I'm
had the
gym
whole
here.
fucking gym.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yeah, that'll happen soon.
Of course you are.
Steps.
I was watching a documentary about
yourself.
It was like, are we in a simulation, the Matrix simulation? So I watched
try
that.
to bribe
Some
him
guy
with
sat
simulation
in
talk.
One of those sensory deprivation.
Whenever somebody's in a mad scramble on Rogan, they're like, so arrows, huh? And elk and the simulation and Elon Musk. And he goes, oh, yeah. MMA, right? That's how you get him off your tail. If Rogan is doing something that you don't like, you go, so MMA. And he goes, oh, yes, MMA. And then you could get him off track for an hour. Cumia's doing that, even though he doesn't really need to. He's mixing it up with the cigar thing. You're not getting out of the cigar.
Tanks.
Yeah.
And I know you're...
Float tank he brought up. Oh, yeah, that'll get him going.
You have one of those, and the way he describes...
If I ever go on Rogan, which is a possibility, we've been in talks, I'm going to sit down. This is going to be my opening line. Elk, arrow, float tank, MMA, green screen. These are his words. Cut to him, and then I command the show. I run a whole Redbar on Rogan.
I mean, people
what I
talk
would
to
do.
Rogan like, you know, when you go to your family event and your aunt is there?
Yes.
And then you're like, what do I know about her garden? She has a garden. And as she's walking up, you're like, how's your garden?
How's your garden? That
That's
shows
how
you're
people
terrified.
Talk to him.
How dare you bring up MMA to Joe? Are you trying to get us killed? He's going to talk us to death. I always get so mad when they do that. It's like they're folding. It's like, that's the easy way out of your nerves. If you're on Joe Rogan, you're like, oh, what's he going to ask me next in front of all these people? Shit, fuck it. How's MMA? Phew, I can relax. He'll be on MMA for, So I just heard simulation theory, tank, elk. Like, listen to this lineup of distractors just to get out of smoking a cigar.
Lucrative deal with Infinity Broadcasting back in, I think it was 2000.
You want a cigar?
God, I rewound that much.
I don't smoke cigars.
Geez, Redbar, the show that shows you the same clip about 3,500 times.
Cigars.
In case you didn't hear it the first time.
I always feel like it's weird because I want to inhale because that's like smoking to me. So you kind of just let it linger.
All right.
In your mouth. I've smoked cigars before.
I'll wrap it. I'm not going back again.
Are
Trust
they good?
me. Cheers.
Good, yeah.
Because I hear Cubans aren't even the good cigars anymore.
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Bobby Kelly about that. He knows more than I do.
Bobby Kelly.
Just feel like once we start drinking, I usually smoke
I
up
did
a cigar.
his. I'll smoke a cigar with you, though.
Look at you.
Well, why wouldn't
Okay, I'm not going to rewind it again,
We're
I promise.
here on the Joe Rogan Experience. Humidor.
Humidor. Here's
it's fine.
the litany.
You have such a man place
Man
here.
place.
This is a dude fucking place.
Dude
It's
place.
not as duty as the last place because I don't have the gym. But but I'm
right. You
getting
had the
gym
whole
here.
fucking gym.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yeah, that'll happen soon.
Of course you are.
Steps.
I was watching a documentary about it was like, are we in a simulation, the Matrix simulation? So I watched that. Some guy sat in one of those sensory deprivation tanks. And I know you have one of those, and the way he described it of just losing his sense.
Why is this being brought up right now? He literally just started getting into tank talk. Do you think that the tank water is going to somehow put out that cigar that you're about to smoke?
Of body.
Yeah.
And being
I'm just making stuff up here. I'm making up the whole agenda here.
I love it.
But it's working.
That's what I want to hear the most, honestly.
Just me making up the
I don't know.
storyline.
Yes, I don't know about everybody else.
But they all
that's
add
my
up. Here's the
favorite
thing.
part.
When I watch this stuff, I'm making this up. But it lines up. It always lines up. So that's why.
Might as well go with your gut.
That's why this is a real profession of mine now.
Able to see himself as individual particles and stuff.
Oh, he must have been high as fuck.
Dude, he had to be. But like that was pretty much the gist.
Joe Rogan can't pay attention to a word he's saying because he's too busy getting this cigar as quick as he can, as if it's getting 2 drinks for 2 girls that are on the fence about drinking with them. You know what I mean? This is like what a guy does. They're like, "You guys want to drink?" And they're like, I don't know. Oh, sure. Oh, that's gonna roll. Shit. Here you go. You got to drink now that I got it faster than you could say no. It's like what Rogan does, and it's like, that's what I mean about this party guy. Sven's like that. Where he's like, I'll be like, my 19th shot. Aren't we having a great time? He's like, why aren't you fucking drinking, you fucking fuck? Sven, have you gone into alcoholic mode now? Are you changing? Shut the fuck up. I've always hated you. Drink, pussy. And I'm like, we are both drunk.
By the way, I think that's the old Sven. He
I
didn't
hope so.
act like that at all in our last trip.
But there
with
are
him.
guys like
He
this.
was amazing.
And
He was
it's
an
like,
angel.
I am drinking, bro. I am drunk. I promise.
I swear.
You're not drunk until you're like me. I'm drunk. And I will have a drink. We're not even in a fight. But that's what Joe Rogan's scrambling to keep the action going, as if it's a chick that he can't get out of the... You don't want to leave the hotel room. It's just Cumia. He can't go anywhere until his flight.
Of the whole thing was that, if you can get to the reality that you are just kind of specks, you're particles, you're just
you're a bunch of stuff.
He's never thought or talked about specs before in his life. I mean, the only specs this guy knows are the ones he's picked off his face after they scar up in his teens. It's an acne thing. So all of a sudden he's like, hey, what about specks and particles, huh? That'll keep him going for a little bit there. He'll forget about that cigar.
Stuff.
You're a bunch of stuff connected to a consciousness that's connected to an ego, and that ego exists to make sure that you keep breeding and perpetrating your DNA.
Yeah, it's all biological and keeping the species going. Like our whole thing.
So Cumia's got that cigar in his hand. I can't keep my eyes off of it. And he's got that cigar there. He's watching Joe light the cigar. And Joe's going to cigar dish him. Wait till you see the cigar dish coming up. These guys really get baited and cucked by cigars. If someone offered me a cigar, I'd break a bottle over their head before they could try to alpha me with that shit. They'd be on the floor bleeding. I'd be peeing in their cuts before they could go, oh, you don't smoke these? Ha! Fucking beta. Oh, beta, please, you're on the ground bleeding.
Has a guy ever accepted a cigar from another guy and then just
I
ripped
wish
it
I
in
could
half?
show you what would happen. I want to play out a scene where you offer me a cigar, but before you know it, I'd be breaking the bottle over your head. That's how quick it would be. There would be no time to figure out what's happening. It would be, you're dead. But not for Cumia. I don't know what I'm doing with this. This is just funny to me. I love cigar shit.
Me too.
For some reason, these guys, they have no business smoking cigars, and I could smell it a mile away.
I mean, we would have nothing to say if they pulled out a cigar, started smoking it, and they looked cool. Then it would be fine.
If
but
they
always
pulled
have
out a
this
cigar
big
and looked cool,
hubbub, and it's so stupid.
You'd see me smoke it. If it was cool, I'd be doing it. I do what's cool. So now that you trust me, let's see what happens. So he's in fear. He's going, oh, fuck, I got to light this thing. He's going to blow up. I want to send Joe a box of one of those 1987 exploding cigar prank cigars. You know, they had
how we could probably do it?
put gunpowder.
We spend a year making the perfect website and like company and social
We
media
could use
for a cigar
Squarespace.
company. Exactly.
Yeah.
Then what's that guy who gave Joe the buffalo trace?
That Andy Baggus. Yeah, that fucking guy that with the pygmies and the midgets. Yeah, he gave Joe Buffalo
So we
trace.
make this incredible site that you
Yeah.
can't deny. We put out all these fake quotes from
Fake
like the New York Times and
quotes.
stuff. We get in contact with him. We're like, we have a charity. We donate cigars to pygmies.
Yes.
We have a gift box of cigars for Joe Rogan.
These are the best cigars.
He loves to help out a company.
We
He
do
goes
it
on Joe
through the
Rogan,
pygmy guy because
gives
he's
him-
too stupid to know Redbar from anything.
The pygmy guy gives Joe the
Yes!
cigar, and it's an exploding cigar.
It's a perfect plan.
And that's a little weird. Because
Nothing weird about it. That sound you heard was the
That
sound of
could
Joe
work.
Rogan's torch lighter, by the way. Listen, that would work. You know, we got to start utilizing Joe Rogan's stupid friends because they're so easy. Like, you could go to those guys who dig through dirt and hunt pig that he has on, and you could, like, talk to them today in an hour. Like, I could call that pygmy guy right now and go, hey, you know, so I work for this really high-end cigar company. I'd love to, you know, give you a box of cigars to give to Rogan on behalf of the, and I make up some big brand. We fake the label.
If there's charity involved somehow,
put-
they'll believe it and they'll want to be involved.
We put these exploding cigars in that I get my friend, the GPM from Germany, to make. Now, he's an explosive expert. Same with Cameron Malik, my web developer. I met him because he's an explosives expert, you see. And we put some real big dynamite in those stogies. And Joe lights them up and boom. It's like that, what do they call that? The University of Delaware. What got real bad? That big bombing that happened in Connecticut or something like that. A bombing in
Just say
Oklahoma.
Israel and Palestine.
Oklahoma. And they go boom. Guys, let's kill these people with bombs. Let's really start getting into this. Let's start sending them TNT explosives.
No, it has to be
Nah,
a
I'm kidding about that.
comedy-sized
It's gotta be
explosive. But we
comedy.
could still do it.
It has to be sold at a prank store and verified by 5 employees that it is a comedy explosion.
And you know how I know?
We do no harm to comedians here.
You know how I know we could do this? Because Big Mike is moving into a house and basing his whole career on this fake scam website, Wizza, which
Wizza.
only has 190
He's
followers
6. So
on
you
Twitter.
could really fake a company, be like, we're a new startup. We've got $1 billion valuation, not evaluation, valuation. It's money talk. We've got Delirium coin that we're working with, NFRs, and we've got this box of cigars that is going to be the next Spotify. You remember when people told you about Uber, right? These cigars, it's like that. So just give him the cigars. They have a bomb in them. Give it to him. It'll work, Jules. Great plan.
Thank you.
And scene. No sending explosives to anyone. Unless they're verified by Spencer Gifts. And they have a certificate of authenticity and a Spencer receipt. All right, let's see the cigar smoking.
We also find pleasure in things that don't seem to be connected to that part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think a lion thinks, I'll just have a good time today. I think it's food and fucking.
Yeah.
And most of the animal kingdom, I think it's...
You should act like lion. I like this. Lions bite and they food and fuck. That's how man should be. Yes, live like lion, please. You have my blessing.
Food and fucking. Sometimes you see monkeys eat some kind of rancid fruit and they get drunk and fall out of trees.
Well, that's what's interesting about people is that we've figured out some weird hacks.
All these guys like him, Brian Callen, all want lion rules when it comes to rape and abuse and their need for women. But they don't want lion rules for anything else. Like, okay, you know lions can't play Call of Duty all hours of the night wearing goggles made for the game. You do know that, right? You know that there are a lot of downsides to being a lion as well.
Your Kiva's kicking in?
I'm not on Kiva's.
I haven't seen you smile this big in a month.
Well, it's because I watched that Nobody Likes Onions episode the other day, and he was smiling so much, I said.
Oh, yeah, you forgot to look at his smile earlier.
Wait till you see Melton smile. He might be back. All right, listen to this shit.
Wait, I just wanted to say, the other day we were saying we should figure out a way to interview Melton after all this time.
Yeah, we want to interview Patrick Melton.
Can anyone make this happen?
But he also has to, like, be honored to be interviewed by me.
Yes.
And come on and be like, oh, thank you for having me.
I mean,
what's up?
We keep catching him, like, not copying,
Yeah.
but, like, using Mike's mannerisms and, copying all
He's
this
been
stuff.
copying. Yeah, he's going
even
crazy.
right on his website.
Yeah.
Like, let me ask you if you think this sounds like Mike.
What's happened here is we caused this man so much trauma, like real serious trauma. And he watched all the episodes about him, which was like 2 years of content. And during the trauma, he was doing a lot of MDMA at the time and watching a lot of Redbar coverage and going through a lot of trauma. And somehow the signals all got messed up. The wiring all got convoluted. And now we're catching him. He's doing Redbar.
Okay.
He's fully doing Redbar now. And it's
yeah.
like, wait, you hated what we did to you. And now you've become me. It's like when a guy abuses his son. Now his son's the fucking fighter and biter.
But
I abused Mountain so bad, now he's taken after his old man. He's taken after his old man.
Talks like you and like
yes,
goes after
he's
people
doing,
like you.
Yes, he is doing full Redbar now.
And here, click his website for a second. Sorry, I'm afraid to
And
show
I
my
say
hand now 'cause
he's
someone said
starting to
they're big.
act like his old man because that's what a guy would say who's like abusive. He calls himself, if your dad refers to himself as your old man, he's abusive. If you're like, my old man is, no, he's abusive. You don't call your dad your old man unless he's hit you and done the unthinkable in front of you. Okay, what are we showing?
It's little things like this that I think are the creepiest.
Okay, let's show people. Because they will not believe.
Because this shows how deep it goes.
Yeah, okay, just really quick.
Look at this. Live shows are now on YouTube. Look at what he writes on... Oh, you got to click back to the last slide. It's number 3.
Okay, quick. Live shows are now on YouTube. So we're pretty much big tech now.
Like, that's a Mike
That's
comment.
me. That's how I talk. Unless I've been watching so much Melton that I picked up a couple of his...
Not that. He didn't used to talk like that. Like and when you hear him talk, like
he
this
does
is just
a
an
lot
example
of,
that
it's
I can
like
show
very
you.
Jesse P.S. Redbar-y.
Where he's like trying to... Like, people always take on your mannerisms and stuff without realizing it. Even I
They do,
probably
yeah,
do it.
yeah. You do it. Yeah.
But I'm allowed because I'm the wife.
Which is fine unless you're my arch enemy. Then it's gay. All right, cigar time.
Tap into our... yeah, that's a lighter.
Here we go.
Here's a lighter. You flip it the other side.
So Cumia goes, is that the lighter? Because Joe just lit his cigar and then put the lighter down. Cumia said he don't smoke cigars. You should be walking him through the lighting process. Now, this is good. I only want to go back a second. Wow.
Monkeys eat some kind of
Here it comes.
rancid fruit and they get drunk and fall out of trees.
Well, that's what's interesting about people is that we've figured out some weird hacks to tap into our... yeah, that's a lighter. Here's a lighter. You flip it the other side.
Uh-huh.
There's the other flip it upside down.
Oh!
And then pop the top.
Watch this.
That way, yeah. There you go. And then push that up. There you go.
Watch.
You really don't smoke cigars.
You really don't smoke cigars, huh? Because he doesn't know how to use a nerd's torch lighter from Sharper Image. You really don't smoke cigars, huh? You don't know how to use my laser pointer all-in-one 10-tool lighter torch that I got from epicman.journey? That doesn't mean he doesn't really smoke cigars. Joe really takes these little micro alpha moments I mean, he labeled his vitamin Alpha Brain. How douchey is that? For a minute, we were like, oh, alpha, that's okay to say.
But wait a second.
Wait a minute. That's actually extremely homo. Oh, yeah, we sell these pills. They're called Alpha Brain. It'll make you like me and Aubrey Marcus, a man of 20 women. He's married to 20 women. He lives on a coconut island now. And then me. Don't you want to be like me and Aubrey Marcus and Joey Diaz? We're Alpha Brain guys. Don't you want to be just like us? Joey Diaz can barely walk. All right, so now Cumia is lighting it. And, yeah, this is how you don't know he doesn't smoke cigars. He's looking down that barrel. This is like when you look down the barrel of a gun, playing Russian roulette. You're starting to go, what am I doing here? What am I doing? You're freaking yourself out. He is staring at that, and let's see. He actually smokes it quite well throughout the episode. He sucks it down. He doesn't complain.
We found out tricks to hijack.
Phaser.
It's good stuff, right? We found tricks to hijack our biological reward system.
Oh, you want him to talk immediately after sucking down the nastiest taste? Okay.
Like the thrill of the hunt gets replaced with a video game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like wanting to solve puzzles
I
and
just want to see
dramas
Cumia take a pop.
and dealing with problems in your life and threats gets replaced by an action film. Where you're the hero. You pretend you're Jason Bourne.
By the way, I want to inform people, Joe Rogan is wearing a T-shirt of the American flag, except for the stripes are made out of arrows, and the stars are made up of the rock on devil signs. Oh, that's so cool. How is that no different than burning the Israeli flag? I mean, really? How fucking gay can a guy be? And we're sitting here and allowing this. This must end. Lewis, the Legion of Skanks, can someone stand up? Back in the day, if you wore a shirt like this, you were not a comedian the next day. Everyone made fun of you. You were done. It's a shirt of the American flag, which would be bad enough. Imagine wearing the American flag. It's cool. That's like the worst logo there is. And then you have arrows as the stripes and fuck yeah, dudes as the hands. So what's the excuse, Joe, for wearing this? You should be fired. Canceled for that. That's how strict I am.
You're kicking ass and
so
saving
it all
the village.
still goes back to this
biological reward system.
Yeah, biological reward system.
No places that get hacked more than porn, right? You watch people fuck, and you're like, yeah, that's me. I'm in there. I'm fucking.
What the
fuck? And then you can't wait to do it again because it's on tap 24/7.
When you watch porn, you go, yeah, that's me. I'm fucking. Why do you do a fart? The end. Your blowhole. Imagine Joe's fucking anus farting. How disgusting. Seriously.
Jesus. Imagine Joe in the shower with two girls.
Do you know Joe is a closed national park? Yeah, they made him a national park, his body. It's designated. You are now entering. There's a tiny sign right above his chest. Very small.
7. It's like you're living like Caligula. You're living like some madman, some Sultan of Brunei type character with a harem of 100 women that are paid to just sit around and wait for you to.
And I think the arrows and devil signs are all blurry. And then on the back, there's also a joke about like, sorry, man, I've had a few drinks, bro. It's like one of those.
You can only see from far away.
Yeah. Like, it also has that component where it's also, like, novelty blur because it's a gag gift. So stupid, man.
to fuck him.
Dude,
Smoke that
I
cigar,
gotta tell
monster!
you, the testosterone shots.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Listen to this. He's been taking testosterone shots. Yeah, that's what we need. Him to be up and able. Just what Cumia needs. As soon as finally he's entering his 70s. Maybe he'll slow down.
Power just increased 45%.
Oh, no. Let's give him speed and testosterone. Let's revive him. What monster doctor out there is going, oh, we must bring him youth. Hasn't he done enough in his reign? Now we need to have 20 more centuries of this?
Oh, you, of course, have been a proponent of this for many years. You've turned a lot of people onto it. You're 100% with this. I know of other people that have said, oh, yeah, Joe Rogan said, I got to get on this. Whenever a guy that's, reaching their 40s, 50s in there says that they're having problems with libido and...
Are you having problems with libido? You're admitting this, you know. You know, it's one thing, I want to do steroids so I could cheat to win, okay? Which is what it is. Adderall and steroids is cheating, you know? Everybody's on Adderall, everyone's on steroids. How am I supposed to keep up when I'm against those things? It's the exact same story those bicyclers went through with Walter Payton or whatever his name was. And now we're watching it again. All of our podcasters and writers and influencers are juicing and taking speed. They are. Now, what if I don't want to juice and take speed? Maybe I can only do one show a week. Whereas they could do 100.
8-hour show a week.
Well, there you go. But they do 800 shows a week. They never stop. So I can't keep up. I got to start juicing too. But then do I turn into the monster? So that's the rub. You will turn into a lifeless monster if you do these things. But he's going to talk about it. Listen to the new features. Anthony Cumia, his new powers that he's got from juicing. You're not going to believe this. This should definitely be an illegal substance. Listen to his list of new powers.
Muscle mass, and
energy,
interest in things, aches and pains. Yeah, you've always said that. As a matter of fact,
listen, he doesn't feel pain anymore now. This is an unfair advantage.
You can shoot a bullet
He's like,
at him.
oh, I don't feel pain anymore. I don't need to sleep for more than an hour. I'm interested in the youth. Wait till you hear this list. It's very dangerous giving someone steroids.
And then Nick DiPaolo, I do a show with Nick on Mondays on my channel. And he was saying the same thing. He's going, fucking no muscle mass, cocksucker. Can't fucking do anything. Look, fucking bitch arms. So
he bullied you into doing steroids. Very cool. Another cool story from Cumia.
Hilarious. And he said low T. Mm-hmm. So I went to the doctor. I was diagnosed with low T.
You went to the doctor. You were diagnosed with low T. AKA, you're a beta bitch, cock, snowflake, homo, frail soy boy. You literally are what you've been making fun of for the last 5 years. Soy boy, proteinless beta boy. What's the excuse?
Nobody said it doesn't count if you're old.
Yeah. It counts. You have low T, you've admitted you're gay, is what I heard. So now you're on testosterone replacement therapy. You're having therapies proceeded on you. You're so screwed up.
It was pretty fucking low.
It's called being an old man.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
It's called getting... I just had my 60th on April 26th.
Ooh, 60. And now he's got to have another, renaissance with his madness. He's done enough.
Just go to the home.
He had 60 years of chaos, and we just thought it was dormant now. Finally, the dragon will rest. Nope. They've shot him up. He's back. 20 more years.
0.
Dude,
wow.
When I was a kid, that was, you're done.
Dead. You're a dead man.
You're dead.
Meanwhile, you have a thick neck now. Look at you. When I saw you today, I'm like, look at his neck.
I know, it's getting there.
You're lifting
good.
weights?
It's like...
Just what I need. My worst enemy going from Shang Tsung to Goro. He's thickening up? Great. This is going to be bad news for me.
I am now, yeah. Missy makes me fucking do that shit. She's an animal. She's a fucking animal.
Look at you.
But here's the weird thing.
Okay.
Now,
Listen.
you don't notice because it's like over the years, the testosterone level and those interests that you had in your libido and all that, it gets turned on like a dimmer.
Yes.
It's like a dimmer switch.
It should. Listen, my libido has been turned down like a dimmer. Well, God knows what he's doing. He's trying to protect us. So what does the shot do that you took?
So it's before
slowly.
You notice it. Yeah.
Slowly. And then another year goes by and you're like, wow, and then a little bit down. After 2 shots, it's a switch. It just went bam. And all the time it took to turn that down came right the fuck back.
No.
Joe, I'm a piece of shit again. I have been looking at porn that isn't even right.
Okay. So 2 shots. Boom! I'm worse than I've ever been. I'm looking at porn that isn't even right. And this is coming from Cumia.
So imagine what it could
The
be.
porn that he admits to watching is so gory.
I forget if we showed this on the show, but I saved a bunch of his tweets from a couple weeks ago where he was just posting like naked pictures of the
kids.
youngest looking girls
Kids.
possible, like crying.
Like little girls with braces and freckles.
Or
But he'd be like,
just-
they're 18, dipshit. It's like, but they are It's like a kid with a pacifier.
I dragged them up to the top if you want to
freckles.
show, but I don't know if they're too.
No, I can't.
Or he posted all of these TikTok videos of just like high school girls dancing, being like, this has got to be the prettiest girl on earth.
And I'm not kidding. Follow him on Twitter. Seriously, you'll see what we mean. We don't have to prove it. Listen to this, though. This gets worse.
Like I'll punch it. And for years, I've been going like, oh, Elon Musk, SpaceX. Oh, look at that. The Falcon 9.
Now you go right to porn.
It's right to porn. And the porn is like college, red pussy, hairy nerd. Like girls with glasses and big, hairy red bush and stuff.
Why?
And because I don't know, Joe.
Ooh, he don't even know. He can't control it. He's werewolf now. So this is bad. We cannot have our enemy. I thought I was going to be saying goodbye to him this year. Laying him to rest finally. He's back, baby. This is really alarming. You hear this, the sites that he's going through, the porn that he's watching.
But so the needles.
No,
I just found this
what was
attraction.
The porn? What was the porn that you were attracted to before this?
I wasn't really thinking of porn. I got to be honest.
But why do you think it's like perverted porn?
It isn't really perverted. I just like pale girls with big pussies. Like the hairy
Wait, what? Big pussies? Is that a...
Why are you saying this?
I just like young girls with big pussies?
Like, do you...
Yeesh. Usually people want those things small. I'm a small man myself when it comes to pussies. I don't like them big.
Reminds me of when I used to see
Back in
Barbie
the
Benton
days.
and Playboy when I was a kid.
Oh, so it's bringing you back.
It brings me right back, Joe.
So it's like you've basically gotten into a time machine.
Yeah.
Brought you back to when your libido was in full swing.
Yes.
And you're connecting.
And I
with
think the
that
hair's
era.
coming back.
His
hair's coming back. God damn it. I've cursed his hair to fall off for so many years.
No, he's
now
talking
that
about
shit's
pussy
growing back.
hair, don't
Oh,
worry.
the pussy hair.
He's still bald.
And Joe loves this conversation. Would you like it if your black daughter came down from her swang session to be filled with this guy? Would you like it if your black daughter that you keep hidden? What does it matter if she's black? Because he's hiding her is why it matters. He's hiding a black child. You know, Pusha T said it best. You are hiding a child. To Drake, he said that. And that's what you're doing. You're hiding her because of her enormous, heavy, swanging abs. Wait till you see her. I'm not going to dox her. Find Joe Rogan's half-black daughter and look at the size of those moppers. He's ashamed. You know, unlike Ben Shapiro, he's unwilling to admit that this is part of his family. And I don't think it's the half-black thing. I think it's the swangers. They're fucking robot. They go like this. I mean, they're like two clown props that you would see like a crazy clown from the 90s wearing. And I think he's ashamed. He's too embarrassed for people to see, though. And she's always showing. She's wearing like a low-cut shirt. They're going like this, you know. And I think that's what it is. That's what it would be for me. Here you go.
Is making a comeback. During the 90s and early 2000s, it was cut that shit off. They tried to get artistic with it at first.
Bush talk, we've heard this. Is there any more clips from this Cumia experience with Joe Rogan? We just heard how he's on testosterone now, so that's a big deal.
You could go to 143.50 if you want to hear the Milo part.
Yeah, sure, because remember, Joe Rogan has censored Milo by removing his episodes from his archive. You can't get them anymore. And then Joe Rogan is going to say this at 10 what?
143.50.
143.50. Listen to this.
Oh, is yours in the... Then go to 103.50. Sorry.
103.50.
Spotify literally has 2 different ways of timing their videos depending on what platform you go on.
Yeah. 103.50. So
cool. 103 minutes or
very
an hour
hard
and
to do. Here we go. 103.33. Let's hear this.
Is what he was doing was saying wild shit. That was his business model.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you talked to that guy off air, and I know you have. He's a lovely guy.
Really is.
He really is.
I just spoke to him probably.
We're talking about Milo. Well, Joe, if he's so lovely and it's such a raw deal, why don't you get his episodes of yours put back up? Or are you beholden to your boss? I mean, which is it? You're really going to sit here and go, I can't believe people would ban... You banned Milo. You're the biggest banner of him that they've got. Is this not crazy?
3 weeks ago,
and
he was
people
on the
got
show.
mad because of what he was promoting. But I think part of the problem was that there was an established power base of like liberal thought and left-leaning thought, and they were in control of the tech platforms. And when these guys like Milo in particular, he was the big one because he was so charismatic.
Yeah.
And he got through. Then all of a sudden they were like, Jesus Christ, we got a real problem here. We don't agree with this guy. We don't agree with him, and he's out there wilding. And they didn't know what to do with him because he was gay and because he was married to a black guy.
They? You mean you and your friend Spot. I can't believe you're saying this. Get the episodes back or shut the fuck up.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, we can't call him
and
a racist.
He's Jewish.
We can't call him homophobic. We can't call him anti-Semitic.
He had everything.
What label can we put on this guy?
Well, they just decided to just silence him.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, one of the problems with him was some shit that he said on my show, ironically. Because he was talking about,
oddly enough, right,
young guys having sex with gay older men.
And one of his personal experiences.
But here's the thing, man. Like, I've talked to multiple gay friends who have had similar experiences, and and this is a small sample size, right? I'm talking about like 6 or 7 guys. And they've said that in their work.
You talk to 6 or 7 gay guys? Sorry, Joe. Where I come from, if you talk to 6 or 7 gay guys within a short period of time, you're gay! I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Hey, I talked to a lot of gay guys, 6 or 7 gay guys. Oh, you did? Oh, what did they have to say? Or did they not say it with their words? Did they show you with their emotions? You know, you talked to 6 or 7 gay guys, huh? Must have been some party. Must have been some romp. Did you get kicked out of the hotel? Was there a huge bill for damages? Let's hear more about those gay guys he talked to.
There's like comics and other folks. They've said that in that world, that's normal.
Oh.
It's normal for like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old gay guy to have a relationship with a 35-year-old gay man.
Oh, okay. So then it's fine. This is what Joe is actually saying. I don't know why they banned Milo for saying that he would have sex with children. In the gay community, I've spoken to 6 or 7 gays, and they all have sex with children. So in the gay community, it's... This is what Joe just said. Last week, he said the Catholic Church should be demonetized for having sex with kids. Now he's saying it's bullshit that gays who have sex with kids are being banned from Spotify. My network.
Meanwhile, he's behind the banning.
You're behind the banning, and you also, I believe, you usually say you do not agree with sex with kids. Now you do. This is what he's saying.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. It's interesting. Like, I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying that it's common.
Do you say these things on purpose, Joe?
See?
That I'm not saying.
Even Cumia's like, what? That's very bad. I don't get why I talked to 6 or 7 gay guys. They said, yeah, we fuck kids all the time, Joe. So tell whoever's canceling Milo for that is like really being a bitch. Even Cumia is like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
That world, that's normal. It's normal for like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old gay guy to have a relationship with a 35-year-old gay man.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. It's interesting. Like, I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying that it's common.
Do you say these things on purpose, Joe?
That I'm not saying that it's right?
No,
What do you mean?
I just see the headline now.
Well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He doesn't even know. And Cumia's like, I can see the headline now. Just like, fuck the media.
Fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
do.
telling what my friends have told me.
I find that awesome because every time something's said like that, all I see is, not that I give a fuck either, believe me. All I see is a headline saying, Joe Rogan endorses gay child sex.
I don't.
Of course
but
not.
They say the people that I've talked to that it's not in their world. It's not
Yeah, then report them and arrest them, because if they're part of that, Joe, you must stop them. But they're my friends. They're your friends who are having child sex as gay people, and you're just like, oh, sweet, thanks. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah, I'm going to call my next gay friend. I'll call you back. I'm going to call, Ari Shafir. We'll see what he says. That's the craziest thing. So you can't really take what Rogan says seriously.
Thought of the same. You remember, who's that film producer that have those wild parties? Who'd have like a whole pool filled with gay
Roman
guys?
Polanski?
No. He would.
Oh, gay guys.
Brian.
Oh,
Yes.
singer.
I think that's about it. Cumia on the Joe Rogan Experience. A very trippy tape, huh? Very crazy, very kooky.
Did you want to see Joe List tell that story about Austin? While
Yeah,
we're
is
talking
that
about
on
Rogan?
here too?
Yeah.
Okay, Joe List was also on JRE. We despise Joe List. He has depression. He takes MDMA now as therapy because he's terrified of the world, he says. I don't know how everyone doesn't go outside.